Well, good morning, my fine feathered hiker friends. This is Little Hike Mike, and I am back at Cliffs of the Neuse State Park, and I'd like to take you on a little hike. This will be the second video I have done on Cliffs of the Neuse. Of course, they make it friendly for anybody that wants to come out in the local areas, or anybody passing through on Route 70 heading east towards the Atlantic coast. Very clean state park. Now, this will be my second time around today, and the route that I took started off with the Longleaf Trail, and I'll just get to show you a little bit of the trail this morning. But all in all, from the different trails I took this morning, which I'm going to repeat, was about 4.6 miles. So when I'm finished today, I'll have somewhere a little bit over 9 miles in hiking, and there's not one continuous trail in the park that gives you any more length than a couple of miles, or maybe 3. This Longleaf Trail, it shows a dead ending into a road trail, or not a trail, but a road that's going down to the group camping sites. But anyway, I just wanted to point out a few more of the features of the park today that could be inviting to those. And I probably will insert a little bit of video of a controlled burn they had back in the spring, or the winter actually. Right now, the forest floor, or the canopy, or the forest floor rather, there's a lot of vegetation growing that maybe wouldn't have grown had it not been for that controlled burn. So they have the management of the longleaf pine here, which are these pine trees that you see that are real tall, and there's many of them in this forest, along with a lot of deciduous trees. But the forest floor, every now and then, in order to regenerate some of the vegetation that would normally not grow because of the pine needles and leaves that fall down to the forest floor, it doesn't allow enough sunlight in, and the other, some of maybe even the other pines, or even the deciduous trees, could not germinate their seeds because not enough sunlight, or but I'm sure if you asked one of the biologists or forest rangers here, they could tell you a little bit more about that. But this trail, along with the others that I'll be going on, the Longleaf Trail, is very easy. When I say very, it's flat, which is great. There is one section when you get down to the river, which I'll get to, that will be a little steep, kind of coming up to the parking lot from the river level. But that's the only real hard part. But they do make it as easy as they possibly can, because they put steps in to come up. But the trail is not very rooty. There are some roots, as you can see, but it's sandy and flat, and not rocky. So that's what I mean by very easy. And I'm only comparing that very easy to maybe an easy trail like the Appalachian Trail. I'm sure there's sections that are similar to this, but very few that are sandy, because that's more up in the higher elevations. And I just got off of a section near Damascus that about 50, 60 miles of it. And of course I noticed it wasn't very easy. There were some sections that were, I would say, easy, but most of it was moderate, and then there were some difficult parts. But as they rate trails, this trail, for those who don't hike a lot, they just want to get out and experience being in the woods, and then, you know, the solitude of it, because there's not very many people that are here, not very many people that are walking it today anyway, but there's a little bit more activity right now because it's later. When I first got here around 8:30, it was very quiet, and of course you can hear the birds, and now you might hear some man-made noises, like I think there was a chainsaw here. Hold on. I'll be right back. Into the app, then it does show you the trail as you walk along, so you don't get lost. But anyway, this trail is very well blazed. It's wide. It's well maintained. And like I said, very easy as I trip over a root. Anyway, here's the little blazes. And so we just walked through the wooded section. We're coming up on the logging road, or the road going down to the group campsite. So you just follow along and watch for the signs. Can't hardly get lost here. Anyway, I will look forward to trying to get as much of the things that I see along the way that are interesting. And you'll get to see them too if you want to come to my channel, Little Hike Mike. Please subscribe, and also hit the bell, and that way you'll know if I have a new one coming out. Hey everybody, still on the Longleaf Trail, logging road, or the road that goes down to the group camping sites. And just wanted to show you, we're walking parallel. Can't see the river right now, but we're walking parallel to it. And you can see I'm pointing up the hill here and to a higher elevation. We're kind of down at the lowlands right now, and you can see the canopy down by the river, and the vegetation and everything along the river is thick and jungly, which I'm not going to get down into because I don't want to get buggy or snaky. But that's probably where some of the wildlife is. I'm not going to go looking for snakes today, but anyway, just wanted to show you a little bit about what I'm seeing. And I'll just walk along here and let you hear the sounds. That's where we came from. This is where we're going. Looks like there's lots of flat areas, picnic tables, fire pit, fire ring over there. I don't know how many sites there are, but this looks like 1, 3. Lots of parking. There's the privy. Nice privy. There's 4 areas down here. They're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, here's the kiosk and the trash containers. And I'm just going to follow the trail around. So I'll get back at you when we get close to the river. We're getting closer to the river now, and I've gotten closer to a couple of birds that are calling back and forth. I'm not sure what the birds are. Hiking Trail Blaze. When I was here last, the river was up quite a bit. And all this area in here was underwater. And I guess eastern North Carolina, there's the river. Actually, swamp area of the river. Sure, there's some critters down in there. Yeah, all this was up to about here. So the river was up quite a bit. You know, I was lucky today on my hike because the weather is cool. It's June 13th. And we had a cool front come through here, bring some rain, finally, and hasn't warmed up really, hasn't really gotten very humid, but right now I would say it's in the low 70s, but down in the under the canopy here it might be a little bit cooler, but it's always nice to hike in cooler weather, that's for sure. There's a little bit more of the river. So you really won't get to see the river until I get up on top of the cliffs because of the foliage on the trees. But I'll turn around here and show you a sign. So the group campground is going that direction, and the Spanish Moss Trail, it's just a little bit of a loop around. But if you go up that trail and go off to the right, it takes you up to the campground area, another campground area, which I have stayed at before. You can see the trail maintenance has been done on this particular trail by trail maintainers, and we're thankful for them. I did put out a video not long ago of trail maintaining on the Neuse State Trail down in near Havelock, which is part of the Croton National Forest. Yeah, the river's up here to this section. So we've gotten down to about river level. Generally, I see a water type fowl in here, and not today. You can see a lot of, if you really look hard, you can see a lot of plastic bottles. So, you know, unfortunately, our refuse system for containing trash could be a lot better, and I'm sure it's a lot worse in a lot of different countries, but anyway. So you look at the wooden steps that have been made for us, but not a very sunny day today, really overcast, so we don't have a lot of sunbeams coming down through the canopy. This will get your heart pumping, but not high enough. Okay, I am at the top. Hey folks, I'm at the top. The sun is trying to peek through the clouds. I'm coming up to the scenic overlook of the Neuse. And once again, thanks to our trail maintainers. There it is. And this river meanders down from Raleigh. The headwaters are up kind of near Raleigh. It goes all the way to the Pimlico Sound. But I wish I could get a view of the section going off to the east. So you'll never find the Neuse River to be real clear. Lots of runoff. People do fish it though, but you can see that section right down there is where I walked up to, was able to walk up to, and the river still is up somewhat. So this has been so far a wet year, end of last year and the beginning of this year. Plaque dedicated to Lionel Weil. Lived 1877 to 1948. His devotion to his native state combined with his steadfast visit and generosity made possible this cliffs of the Neuse State Park. To him who in the love of nature holds communion with her visible forms, she speaks a various language. By Bryant. So this was dedicated 4 years after I was born, in 1957. Oh, an alligator. Ah, just kidding. Yeah, this is all normally not underwater here, but The river's flowing. And because of the trees, can't quite see going east. Maybe I'll get up here, see if there's any kind of a view. There we go. Yep. Yeah. Might be able to catch a few fish off of here. Moving pretty swift though. Wouldn't want to get out there in that current. It'd be nice to take a little canoe down this river. But it's flowing pretty good. I've come to a crossroad here. This is a little detour. I'm going to be going up that road, or that trail right there. But it does tell you when high water, hikers may access bird and galax trails going up that way. But I'll show you down here why we have to do that detour. And the blazes change. So the bird and galax trail, you can see the blue blaze there. So you'd be able to come down here and go down these steps, and then you can barely see it underwater, but there's a boardwalk that's pretty deep, I'd say 4 or 5 feet, and it goes over, and then you can go left or right up there to the bird and the galax trails. But it's pretty much all underwater, so and right there you can see the earthen dam that probably was put up, could be by the Corps of Engineers, who knows, or the state. Some contractor did it, but that's the earthen dam that makes the lake. And this is the detour trail. We're coming to the lake trail. I believe that's the name of it. And there's no name for this lake, I found out today. This is called the lake. But it's a really nice recreational lake. Of course, it's June 13th, and I don't see anybody recreating on it. Sure, there's some fish in there. There's the boathouse. So they have paddle boats, and I'm sure some canoes and kayaks in there you could take out. And then there's the public beach over there on the other side. Now we're on the lake trail. I'm walking over the dam right now. They have a little island, that's what we called it when we were kids, that you could swim out to. And they've got a couple of diving boards off of it. And, you know, they've got a area inside there where you have to stay within the boundaries of, for safety purposes. And we've got a little spillway here to keep the lake at a certain level. I'm sure this gets high at some points too, depending on the runoff on the other side. We're going to go over, and then we are going to go, if you go that way, that's the lake trail. We're going to go that way, Galax Trail. And it's going to meet up with that bird trail. But Here we go. This is a loop, bird trail loop. Trail junction with the map. Really nice. All right, we're gonna go down the bird trail now. Maybe we'll see a bird. Ha. This water looks pretty clear. Nice little brook. I probably wouldn't mind if I had to get water from here and then filtering it for drinking water. But don't need any water right now. This is the best view of the river downstream. Up at the cliffs, I was getting mostly the views of upstream, but this is the best view. It's an overcast day too, so might be missing a little bit of the sunlight to bring out some brighter colors. Hey, my fine feathered hiker friends. Just wanted to get a little bit of me on the video, but I wanted to tell you what I like about this trail. It resembles, of course, it's a nicely wooded state park. And the trails are nice, of course, and as far as it reminding me of the AT that I was on here in May, and I like it just from the standpoint of the seclusion or the remoteness from where I live. In solitude, but nothing's like the AT for sure. We're coming up the backside of the bird trail here to get a little bit of the stream. Some black butterflies that are down in here. It's nice up in there, isn't it? Hey everybody, I wanted to get a little bit more video of the lake trail. Went up to one of its icons, which is a little bridge going over one of the streams that feeds into the lake. It's kind of new, like an Eagle Scout project, Samuel Meeks in Goldsboro. Nice little bench. Of course, and here's the little wooden bridge that's going over the trail. Put up with a little mud. Anyway, just keep following these yellow blazes around, and it'll take us right out back to the visitor center. Hey everybody. Wanted to get back at you. See, it's getting a little brighter up there, coming to the border of the park up that way. I kind of believe that's into a farmer's field. They got something going on up there. I don't know what. Coming to a trail junction road though. Coming up to a spot where you can hear them jets. That Air Force Base is really cooking today, I'll tell you. Here's our junction. And this is where they were starting to do that controlled burn the other day. So, if you go that way, go down to the lake. And honestly, that goes up to the road. It borders the park. So we're going to keep going on the trail. They diverted me last time. We're just going to keep going on up the trail here. And we're not too very far from the parking lot. But I've been blessed today. Cool weather, no rain. I didn't think it was going to rain, but it's supposed to be nicer tomorrow. And then for the weekend. But anyway, I'm enjoying this hike. Feet are getting a little bit sore. Kind of coming up on 9 miles today. And it's been almost 4 hours now. I've been hiking along. I did take a little break at the first I'm going around twice here, so that's why I got back to the pavilion and I just started out again. And it just turned out to be a gorgeous day. Talk at you some parking lot. So I wanted to get a final shot of the trail, and then coming out of, this is the lake trail, coming around the lake, and I wanted to have you see me coming up out of the trail near the parking lot. Animal life was kind of uneventful today. Saw some squirrels, a few birds, a couple of dove. Anyway, it's a great little trail. Here we go. Coming up here. Okay.